What a day it has been for the UFC today. This is probably in history one of the best days for us fight fans. We got just news all around. I never seen my Instagram feed and Twitter just as lit up as it was today. Every second I was like thinking like, wow, we really got blessed today.
Bro, Dana went fucking crazy.
Dana White went hard.
Yeah, he went crazy, bro.
He went in that post-fight press conference and he just started dropping news after news after news and like fight after fight, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And just the whole day today, you know,
I knew it was gonna be special, bro. Once that leak, like at the T-Mobile Arena, once someone fucked up someone probably lost their job today. I'm not gonna lie.
100% they lost their job.
They leaked it too early. Once I seen that, I was like, there's always so many times where we hear about Jon Jones returning, because that's obviously like the biggest thing. Jon Jones returning, Francis leaving, getting released, but like we've been here for 3 years. Jon Jones coming back. He's set for this date, set for this date, set for this date. And so like when I seen that, I was like, fuck, it actually might be coming true. I think he actually is coming back. You know, the baddest man is coming back.
It was, but it was so like not like unpredictable. Like, it was very predictable, but like I didn't believe it until the UFC posted. Like, even when Jon Jones said in the video, like couple weeks here, I'm gonna be fighting Ciryl Gane for the heavyweight championship. Like I didn't believe, like I believed him, but at the same time, like you still have your doubts.
Yeah.
Like you had to wait till the UFC posted. And to be honest, the UFC rarely posts fight announcements. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when do you ever see the UFC page post like, you know, like a fight announcement? Usually they post, they may use like at the main event, but here and there they'll do it. Like this time they posted it, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually about to happen, and just the whole story behind it.
And like the way that the way that they caption their post, they're like, and usually like when the contract is signed, you know, they'll post it. Where they posted, they're like, Dana White confirms this, that.
Like, it doesn't get bigger than this.
UFC has never like done something like that.
Let's recap. So let's go back let's go back a year after Francis won his defended his heavyweight strap against Ciryl Gane.
Yep. So
when that happened, everyone was like, okay, Ciryl Gane, you know, whatever, the fight was boring, whatever it was. Francis, he has surgery. He needs surgery for his knee. Francis gonna be sidelined. We all said, okay, fine. We were all anticipating Jon Jones to come back 2022. So we fast forward to like September, October-ish. Jon Jones versus Francis gets leaked. I think in October I got leaked on a poster in the UFC. It said Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou, due for November, ready to go Madison Square Garden. Like we all thought that was about to happen. And from what like the sources we were hearing was that Jon Jones wrote like, yes, like he's ready to go, contract signed, ready to go. Everyone was like, yeah, you know, we know how Jon Jones is, but it turns out it was the truth. Jon Jones was actually ready to go November 2022, ready to go. If it was against Stipe, Francis, whoever, he was ready to go, and he thought it was probably gonna be Francis. But this whole Francis situation is like
disappointing.
It's probably one of the biggest like shacks.
Yeah,
you know, one of the biggest like misses like this sport has ever had. Like this company, the UFC. It's not the UFC's fault, because we've been told that Francis got offered the most money on a contract by a UFC heavyweight ever, which is unbelievable, and he still didn't want to sign, which is like mind-blowing to me. I don't understand. We're getting robbed of a all-time great fight between Jon Jones and Francis. I cannot believe we're not getting it. But let's just keep on that story. So then, like, what happens? November passes, no announcement. December passes, no announcement. January comes, which is now. Yeah. Ciryl Gane tweets 2 days ago, give me Jon Jones in Vegas in March. I'm ready.
I think he already knew. I think he already knew, because he was in Vegas with his boy who just fought. What's his fucking name?
And now like what Dana said about just this whole situation. Francis is a free agent.
Yeah.
He passed up on getting the most amount of money paid by a heavyweight, a contract. He's gonna vacate his belt, and he's probably gonna go somewhere else.
No, he's done. He's out of there.
He's going to PFL. 100% he is.
Yeah.
Like, would you bet your money goes on the PFL, Bellator, or boxing?
It's
or one FC?
It's weird because
it's gotta be PFL.
I honestly, like, we know Dana White is kind of petty. Like, everyone knows that he's like a petty boss. You know, he will fuck with your mind sometimes, and that's just how he is. You know, no disrespect to him, but when Francis posted a picture with like a PFL, his mom or relative had a PFL shirt on, I thought this leak, I thought it was actually just like baloney. I thought it
Yeah.
was like them trying to like scare him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but
trying to say?
no,
Like, we don't give a fuck about you. We'll move on.
this shit was real.
This shit was real.
I can't believe this.
I can't believe it either. And honestly, I just feel like the fans are disappointed. The UFC, the heavyweight division's disappointed, waiting, not knowing what to do. Dana White's disappointed. I just felt like if everything Dana White is saying is true, if he actually offered X amount of money to Francis,
I think it's true.
it sounded
I
legit.
think it's legit.
I don't know what more else Francis wants. It's either he's I don't want to be that guy, but it's either he's scared of Jon Jones or he just genuinely
thinks the
his
PFL
injury.
okay.
I just genuinely think his injury played a toll with his head. Like, bro, I'm not trying to take this damage from these guys. I'd rather go make a bag and fight some scrubs.
You never,
You know?
like, we never know. Like, realistically, it's either Francis goes to PFL, and he's guaranteed a lot more money than what the UFC offer. Maybe behind the scenes, he already knows how much he's about to be making.
Yeah.
With obviously, Jake Paul going over there and all these new incentives coming out. Maybe he's thinking like, or he already has like a guaranteed number, and he's probably like, "Wow, this is a steal. Let me go do what you just said, fight scrubs, pretty much." Or God knows, who knows? Maybe with how news is on this planet, maybe maybe Francis versus fucking Tyson Fury gets booked for 3 months from now. You just never know.
You never know.
But let me tell you this: I think the most slept on part of this whole day is Jon Jones' 8-fight contract. I think people are blown by what Dana White really just said about 8-fight contract. Eight. That's crazy to me because Jon Jones' professional record is 26-1-1, right? His one loss was a disqualification, against Matt Hamill with the 12-6 elbows. And then he has a no contest against Daniel Cormier, right? But he's never lost a fight in the octagon. You could say he's 28-0. Some of his fans will. I'm one of those guys. There he is right there. 28-0. Let's just assume, right? If he somehow, some way wins out on his contract, by winning out, that mean he obviously all title defenses, and he is, what would that make him?
Fucking 35? 30?
No, 28 plus 8.
28 plus 8?
No, 30. Yeah, 28 plus 8. 36.
36, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about.
Fucking dumb.
36-0. And 8 of his title defenses will be at heavyweight, a new weight class.
What more do you want from him?
What the hell even is that? I just think he's getting slept on. Like, we have so much to talk about here. So let's just.
This is what I was thinking about. So Jon Jones was done with the light heavyweight division. He knew he's been in it. He's been running that shit down. He's finished with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he's actually, because like some people, they just make fun of him, bro. You took 3 years off. He just wasn't training. You know what I'm saying? If he was actually plotting like 3 years to sign an 8-fight contract, in his mind, he is fighting in the heavyweight division, but he's staying there. Like, he wants to make a huge run.
I agree. Now, this is just where as a fan of the sport and as a big fan of Jon Jones, this is where my mind's just like, Jon Jones knows what he's doing, no doubt, right? He knows what he's doing. But I just feel like 3 years off and you're going to a new weight class. Against Francis, I was kind of more lenient because Francis was coming off an injury and a long layoff. Ciryl Gane is active.
Yeah.
I know after he fought in January against Francis, he lost and he waited till I think like September to fight, and that was against Tai Tuivasa. And obviously he knocked him out. He took some damage, but he knocked him out. I know he's like the most insanely active heavyweight, but he's considered more active than Francis, is my point. I just feel like Jon Jones is jumping right into the absolute fire. I know a lot of people argue that Francis is more of like a monster to go up against, and in a way they're right because he does carry unbelievable power that puts out anybody's lights who he touches. But I feel like him coming back against Ciryl Gane, in my opinion, is more of a challenge. Now I say this only because he's more active, right? And I haven't seen him in real trouble other than when Ty cracked him. And I don't think John's gonna go out there try to knock out Ciryl Gane. I think he should take him down and work his magic there, which should be a cakewalk. And I know people are like, he's not going to beat him. However, guys, realistically, if Jon Jones gets a hold of Ciryl Gane and he actually completes a takedown, I'm not saying it's going to be easy to get the takedown, but if he completes it, it's going to be a long night for Ciryl Gane. But I feel like this is a fight that Jon Jones is like,
bro,
like his ego is like, he's like, bro, 3 years off to me, it's
unbelievable. I really think in his head, this is the most perfect thing he could do, bro. Bro, like, realistically, we see how good Ciryl Gane is, right? but he does have a young MMA career,
Very young.
and he has shown like hints of like flaws, a lot of flaws. He does have a lot of flaws. First of all, Tai Tuivasa rocked him. His eyes spin back.
Yeah.
Okay. Francis Ngannou took him down to the ground. He held him down for 3 rounds.
Yep. It's true. All true.
Jon Jones, he looks at it. I genuinely think he looks at Ciryl Gane as easy work.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I just don't know where Jon Jones is at. For example, like, I just like 3 years is killing me. Like, bro, that's such a long time.
It is a long time.
And it's different with like greats like Dominic Cruz. You know, he had his ACL surgery. He took like 2.5, 3 years off. He came back. He won the title against TJ Dillashaw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. He's one of the greats. Jon Jones is the great. So if there is going to be anybody take 3 years off and do it, it's Jon Jones, no doubt. It just, bro, like, something about it. It's just like,
it doesn't sit right with you.
Yeah, like I don't like unless like I know for these 3 years he's been saying he's perfecting, but how hard has he really been training? You know, sparring with great heavyweights. You know, guys that are bigger than him, faster than him, more powerful than him. Like we just don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe like I just don't know what I'm saying. But like we don't know if he's really been. Because, like, we just don't know if he's really been in there with, you know, sparring against these great heavyweights or, like, top-tier heavyweights and just getting a feel of this new weight class. And I know he's been doing that early in his career. He was sparring heavyweights as a light heavyweight and he was getting the best of them. But, like, I think this all depends on Jon Jones' preparation. Because if he comes in prepared and doesn't overlook, because you cannot overlook a heavyweight. Especially a guy like Ciryl Gane, you cannot overlook him. You got to be... He has to, and like, I know I'm like, who am I to tell Jon Jones what the fuck to do? But like, realistically, he has to be prepared mentally and physically to go 5 long rounds if it needs to. Like, this is like not a cakewalk of a fight, in my opinion, because I feel like it's just going to be so much pressure, dude. New weight class, 3-year layoff against a stud in Ciryl Gane.
Put this in your head. Put this in your head. Like, if this was you, okay? You weigh how much?
I weigh 215.
Okay, 215. So let's say you want to jump 60 pounds. Okay?
It's take a long.
How long do you think you could do that naturally? Not just fucking
naturally
not
and
chow
healthy.
down
and
a bunch.
Healthy.
Yeah,
it's gonna take a hot second.
Yeah, not chow down a bunch of fat foods every single day.
No, it's gonna take a hot.
Take like
second.
a year and a half, probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a year and a half to get to that weight. Okay, then you have a guy where you're trying to book a fight with him.
Mm-hmm.
He gets hurt. That's a year automatically. But you want to fight that dude. So you're going to wait for him.
I agree. Yeah, so it burned an extra year.
It burns an extra year. Okay. And then this is where the buffoonery happens. We have Francis Ngannou, who's been working with Dana White in the UFC for 2 years trying to perfect the contract. And he keeps saying...
Stalling Jon. Now, no, you're right. I agree.
So the 3 years, it sounds crazy. But at the same time, it actually might be the most perfect thing that could happen to Jon Jones. Because
he could come back a fucking
stud. Nuts.
He could come back like a fucking monster.
He could come back, put on a masterclass. Like, I'm talking a masterclass. And then
let's put this on the record. Let's just put this on the record right now. If Jon Jones wins this fight, no matter how he does it, if Jon Jones wins come March 4th against Ciryl Gane, you know, a guy that people have a lot of praise for. They say it's the most dynamic heavyweight. I've heard it. I've seen it in comments. Don't tell me I didn't see it. I saw it many times when he was about to fight Francis. Most dynamic heavyweight ever. He moves like a middleweight. I can agree with that. Ciryl Gane moves amazingly. If he comes back and he beats Ciryl Gane, no matter how he does it, close fight, one-sided, no matter how he does it, if he does it standing, I do not even know what to say. But if he wins,
GOAT.
Not even just GOAT, because he's already the GOAT. He pulled himself, he elevated himself into another realm of GOAT. Yeah. Like for example, Brady's. I don't want to be that guy, but if Jon Jones came back for the heavyweight strap against Curtis Blades or Tom Aspinall or Tai Tuivasa, someone like that, and he won, still like it's still elevated. But there's those 2 guys in the weight class that really put him above and just like put him to this next pedestal is Ciryl Gane and Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
If he comes back and wins, I mean, we're talking at a whole different thing here. Okay, so like let's just say like we said, he gets past Ciryl Gane, but he still has 7 more fights to go through, which is like, so Jon Jones, I think he's 34 or 35. I think he recently just turned
34. Yep.
He just turned 34. 34 or 35. Let's just say 35. Let's just assume he's older. Okay. Mid-30s. You know, we know this for a fact that these heavier weight class guys, often most of them get better later on in their years. Glover Teixeira, the heavier weight class, light heavyweight, Glover Teixeira won the belt at what, 41, 42, 43? How old was he?
41.
There you go. Daniel Cormier was competing with Stipe Miocic at
39.
39, 40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think he won the belt against Stipe when he was like 38 or 39. Yeah, dude, and like just competing at a high level, the heavier guys, like,
And you see that in boxing too.
yeah, and like
The
just
older-
like for example, like Thiago Santos is like 38, 39 years old. Jan Blachowicz is 38 years old.
Yeah.
These guys are all older the heavier they get. So I can understand, why John signed an 8-fight contract, because he is technically still in his prime for those weight classes. Those are like 33 to like 40-ish for heavyweights are primes. Look at Randy Couture. He was winning the belt at 40 years old, whatever it was. So like, I feel like it makes sense for him to sign an 8-fight contract, because I know people are like, whoa, 8 fights, what the hell? And I'm like kind of one of those guys, like, that's a lot. But at the same time, he is the most gifted MMA fighter of all time, and he's still in his athletic prime for those weight classes.
Yeah, and I think you're right how you're saying, like, fans and just fight people in general are overlooking 8 fights. If he signed 8 fights, nobody signs 8 fights. They usually do like 4.
Yeah.
Okay. He is so confident,
He must
bro.
be so ready to go like scorched earth. He must be. If Jon Jones, so if he beats Ciryl Gane, he ain't losing to nobody else. His probably next toughest fight at heavyweight, realistically, is Sergey Pavlovich, because that guy's an absolute stud.
Yes.
Like just off the top of my head, you got Curtis Blades, good fighter. I think just John's just better. Tom Aspinall, he's coming off an ACL injury. He's young, he's fast, he's good. He moves like a light heavyweight. John works him realistically, and this is all assuming that John looks very good in the Ciryl Gane fight and he wins. But
yeah,
Taito Ivasa, he won't have a problem with him. I'm just thinking like other, Rosenstrike, Chris Dawkins. Like, I know those guys are probably never gonna fight for a title, but heavyweight, it's not so like loaded right now. And yeah, dude, just 8 fights. You never know. In 7 fights from now, he could be, not even, in 4 or 5 fights from now, he could be fighting Jelty and Almeida. He's a heavyweight now. That guy's a stud. You just never know, bro. Like, we have a lot of Jon Jones left. Hopefully, if nothing goes wrong, pray to God it doesn't. Injuries and stuff. Like, we have a lot more of witnessing the GOAT. So, just in general, like, this whole situation of it getting leaked on the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, it getting confirmed hours later, Dana White coming out saying Francis is gone and the belt is gone, it's John versus Ciryl, 8-fight contract deal, and that's not even half of the stories we got. So I just think we're just so like, we're in a spot right now where no one knows it's just like it's a complete 180 of what everyone thought. Everyone thought Jon Jones may not even ever come back. I saw some bold predictions on some MMA pages. Jon Jones will not fight in 2023. This guy just got an 8-fight deal. And now, like, people are saying, oh, Jon Jones is going to lose to Francis. Jon Jones is not even fucking fighting Francis. Francis is not even in the UFC anymore. Yeah. What the fuck is going on?
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a complete 180 of what everyone thought. Everyone either thought Jon wasn't fighting, Francis wasn't going to fight Jon, Stipe was going to fight Francis, or whatever it may be. And now we got Jon versus...
in like a fucking gray space in a gray area, because
no one could have predicted this realistically.
What does Francis want? I mean, like, there's a positive side seeing Jon Jones coming back. It's a huge positive. Jon Jones 8-fight, all this is great, But then we just lost Francis Ngannou, bro. Yeah, we did lose Francis Ngannou as a fighter.
He's a what if. Francis Ngannou is now officially a what if in the UFC.
He had 1 title defense. That's all he had, and he left. Like, he had an injury. And there were so many promises of what's gonna happen, and he just left, and we lost a great fighter.
Imagine seeing a Jon versus Francis.
It's not like, bro. Realistically, how much value is a win for Francis at like a PFL or Bellator?
He's gonna beat everybody there.
Yeah, like the only thing that's really good, if like he puts on like a great performance in boxing, like against like you said, Tyson Fury. If he leaves, goes fight Tyson Fury,
makes $100 million.
Yeah, looks good.
Good for him.
Good shit. I'm happy you did that, because Dana White wasn't letting him do that while he was on contract. But if he goes, beats a dude from Uzbekistan who's 11-0, but like he just came out of nowhere and knocks him the fuck out, and knocks out 4 dudes, wins all this money, like, okay, you made the money,
for you, like, money wise,
from a hard life, but like your legacy is just off.
Yeah, and that's just maybe how Francis is looking at it. He's not looking at it for legacy. Maybe he's just looking at it for, I came from nothing. I want what I'm worth. I want $3 million per fight or $4 million per fight, whatever it may be. I want to be looked at as I'm worth money and stuff. And maybe that's how he thinks. And hey, that's him. No, by any means necessary, bro. Do you? It's just like, we just got robbed. We all thought like this was gonna happen. the baddest man on the planet. Not just because he's the heavyweight champ, because he fucking hits harder than anybody in the world, and he's the heavyweight champ. You know what I'm saying? You know, Francis Ngannou, the baddest man on the planet, versus the undefeated, you know, undisputed absolute GOAT that's took 3 years off to put on fucking 60 pounds of muscle to come back and put on an all-time like great fight, and now just out the window. But we still get a guy like Ciryl Gane that's also very, very good, you know, and he has great power, great striking, and he's going to go up against Jon Jones, which is amazing. But, man, I just feel like we could have got Francis for Stipe Part 3, even though Francis would have smoked him, realistically. Yeah. But something that needed to happen for Stipe. Jon versus Francis.
Jon versus Francis versus Gane rematch.
Yeah, Part 2. Francis versus Pavlovich, 2 rockets. You just never know, you know. So, like, I hope for the best for Francis. Realistically, like, whatever he chooses to do, PFL, Bellator, 1FC, I mean, boxing, whatever it may, like, hope for the best. But we lost something very good today in Francis, but we also got an 8-fight deal with Jon Jones coming back in 2 months' time from now, less than 2 months' time now. So we got blessed, and that's only, like we said, 1/2 or 1/3 of the news.
I feel like, bro, it's like we had to hop on this and talk about this.
This is like
it's really early.
It's really
early.
Like,
we're gonna find out a lot more these next couple of weeks. Leading up to the fight.
Best believe we're gonna be seeing training vids from Jon, how he looks. Same with Ciryl. Cyryl's in Vegas right now for Nasruddin, his fight that just ended. Not just ended, but ended a couple hours ago. Like, we see Ciryl Gane getting prepped. Jon Jones, we see how he's looking.
They should have an early press conference like how they usually
probably
do
an early press conference. Maybe next week at UFC 280, 2 or 3?
Yeah, 283. 283, yeah.
Yeah, 283, and, you know, in Brazil. Maybe they're going to announce the fucking full card, and we'll see what's on it. Maybe they'll say, oh, this is going to happen, press conference here. Like, you never know. So we got some big, big news coming up for us. Like, for everybody, every UFC fan. This is like...
I don't know what the fucking Dana
White, It's a great way to start the year off.
Yeah.
This card next week in Brazil is stacked. Low-key has some bangers on it. And then February, we're getting Islam versus Volk. And then in March, we have 2 cards in March, pretty much a week and a half apart. One of them's going to have Jon Jones. Other one's going to have what we're about to talk about, fucking Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman, Part 3. So we are just starting the year off on fire. And just literally, just about 5 days ago, we had nothing.
I'm more excited for the co-main, to be honest, on that card, too.
We had nothing.
Fiziev, Gaethje.
So we'll talk about that. So let's get into another announcement that Dana White broke tonight at the press conference. Post-fight press conference was the trilogy fight, the true trilogy, tied 1-1 between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. They're getting their 3rd fight in London in March, 14th or 18th?
I think 14th.
Whatever.
One of those days.
Yeah, mid-March. They're getting their fight on, and this is like really like if what happened with Jon Jones and it happened today, if we got this news, it'd be
still W news.
It'd be like the biggest news like we've had in a while, because like this is a real trilogy fight, and people must forgot like what happened last year with them two is one of the biggest. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in the sport.
Yeah,
you know, like absolutely, like he came back and knocked out Kamaru. It was like an all-time comeback. So now we're getting the trilogy fight. We seen Usman, you know, wearing like a hand brace. I think he got another hand surgery, or like they delayed it, or whatever it may be. Hopefully he's 100% healthy, ready to go. I don't know.
Yeah, Ali Abdulaziz, he told Dana White, because Dana White was saying in the press conference, he was saying like Usman's ready to go. Usman's on, like he's seeing red right now. Like he wants to fight Leon. It was a predictable fight.
Yeah, we all knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, it was it was inevitable. There's no way you could just leave off like that.
I just thought it happened maybe later because of like all this stuff going on. Like Usman's injured again.
Yeah.
Leon's ready to go in March. Usman wants to wait a little bit longer, so I thought like we're gonna get delayed with like a Leon versus Masvidal or Hamza or whoever. I thought it was gonna get delayed again, but no. Apparently it's on for March, like pretty much confirmed by Dana White himself. So we have a true trilogy going down, and it's just gonna be. Man, it's just too much. Like even think about like I couldn't even give you like a prediction of the fight. I just got to see how these next couple weeks, this next month plays out. Hearing news from every person just to like get an idea. But this fight is something that we needed. It's something that's gonna happen by the end of March. After that fight, we'll know. Like we'll have so many ideas. Like not us, but like the UFC's gonna be on it's gonna be on fire.
Gonna look a lot different.
Jon Jones can't be. He might not be champ. Might be champ. You know, like you just never know, bro.
Fiziev beats Gaethje. He has a title shot.
Fiziev beats Gaethje. He's fighting Islam.
Yeah.
two Muslim guys. I'm pretty sure they're friends. They're gonna hit to fight each other, and man, it's just so much shit. Like we got the pound for pound king fighting Islam in February. You got the former pound for pound king Jon Jones fighting Ciryl Gane, coming back. The next week after, you got the other former pound for pound king and Kamaru Usman getting his rematch, his trilogy fight with Leon Edwards. These are just 3 main events that are absolutely just
electrifying,
like bonkers. Like I don't even know like how to explain what's like how I'm gonna be feeling when they're in the ring. Like my heart's gonna be pounding out of my chest. So,
and bro, the thing is, when I get announcements like these, time flies. It gets there quick. Like in a blink of an eye, we're gonna be watching those fights.
It's because, bro, like
all we're thinking about
for the next 2 weeks, we're gonna be hearing from the fighters.
Yeah.
The week after that, you're gonna get the countdown, you know, and the countdown kind of speeds up the process. Then a couple weeks after that, you're gonna get them embedded. Next thing you know, the fight's there. So like,
bro, and like next week we have Figgy versus Moreno 4.
Jamal Hill versus Glover. Gilbert Burns is fighting again. Terrence McKinney.
What the hell?
Yeah, we got a Gregory Rodriguez.
Dana White is not fucking playing.
Like
he's seen those low pay-per-view numbers for last year and was like,
I low key think like
that came
that's
to
a
play.
real thing. And we said this, you know, like in our stream, like 5-6 months ago. Like the UFC's just been slow. We're missing our big stars. We're missing Jon Jones. We're missing Francis not fighting. We're missing all these guys just on ice, you know?
Yeah.
And now he's starting off the year with a great card in January next week. And then February, we're getting a pound for pound, you know, king fight. Whoever wins pound for pound king, you know, Volk versus Islam. And then we have Jon Jones return with the 8-fight contract. And you have Leon Edwards versus Usman. And that's just March.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Jon Jones beats Gane. Is he going to the #1 spot on pound for pound? Because that was his spot before he left, like before he took a huge break.
If Volk beats Islam, I think Jon goes 2. No.
Think so?
Actually, yeah, 100%. If Volk beats Islam, because he went up a weight class and he's already #1. If he went up a weight class and won, he's staying 1. And because I know Jon Jones moving up a weight class as well, but he won't be considered a double champ like Simon, like you know both. And
I think they'll be tied 1.
It's probably
that would make the most sense.
Like if you think about it, because Jon Jones, he's moving up weight class and fighting. If he wins, he's definitely top 3, no doubt.
Yeah.
But since you have Volk already at 1 and he moves up a weight class and wins, he's probably gonna stay at 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If Volk was like
5,
and moved up and fought Islam, he'd probably be fighting Jon for 1.
Yeah.
But I think if Volk wins, if he loses, it's not even Jon will slide to 1.
Yeah.
You know, because if Islam beats Volk, like it's a good win. Volk's a fucking stud, but to do the weight class under you. You know what I'm saying? Like they're probably gonna end up taking his spot. He's probably gonna go 1. But Jon Jones, if he beats Gane, 100% in my opinion. Call me biased. He should go to 1 because you gotta remember it's the biggest jump in weight classes. You know what I'm saying? A guy that used to fight at 205 is gonna be fighting a guy in Ciryl Gane that weighs in at I
260,
think 255 or some shit like that. He's huge. So like he's moving up a more drastic weight class like jump than Volk and Islam at 10-pound difference. You know what I'm saying? Which is still very impressive, no doubt. But if Jon does it, dude, just you can't. He's like Brady. You can't fucking bet against him. Like at that point, I'm just saying if Jon Jones comes back against Ciryl Gane and looks like Jon Jones that we known from light heavyweight, I mean, like we gotta like appreciate his time fighting because that's unbelievable. I can't believe he's finally fighting. It's literally 3 years.
Jon shouldn't be doing anything with his life but fighting until he can't fight anymore. Realistically, bro.
I want him to retire undefeated though.
Yeah.
You know, like
I don't. The thing is, bro, I just feel so confident in him. I don't know why. I feel like there's no reason why he would take 8-fight contract if hasn't been fighting for 3 years. He has to be so confident. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He just can't be like, let me just accept some money. You know, like you just don't do that. You don't do that. He's here for the long run in that division. You know.
Yeah. So
and he's been saying it's like a chess match. He's just getting ready.
Yeah, dude. So, just a matter of time before we really get to realize like if Jon Jones is back to where he was, you know, or if this 3 years actually fucking killed him and he probably made a mistake. And who knows? Maybe he can lose his fight against Ciryl Gane. Get rid of that ring rust. He's gonna come back, probably rematch him. You know, and maybe he'll come back fucking furious, but
motivated.
More likely than not, he's gonna come back himself. I'll bet he comes back more of himself than he does. You know, very ring rust, like and like not knowing what to do, but like not as familiar, like with the weight class and just stuff like that. So, and then, yeah, so I guess we could touch on the Fiziev Gaethje fight, like the implications of that. I know we both said if Fiziev wins, he'll get a title shot. And I think Gaethje kind of knows if he wins this fight, he's not going to get a title shot. I think Gaethje knows that he's going to have to go through another person again to get a title shot. But Fiziev is a guaranteed #1 contenders fight for him. Too fucking stuff. Gaethje is more of a brawler. Fiziev can brawl here and there. He would, but his striking is just so much more dynamic and like fluid that I don't know. It's kind of a pick'em fight.
I don't know how their styles match, to be honest.
I'm being dead serious. I don't think I've seen a style matchup like this in a while.
Yeah,
like a pure brawler with unbelievable power.
Versus a technical striker.
Versus a very, very technical striker, like high tier. I know a lot of people are going to say that, oh, Paulo Costa versus Izzy. Izzy put Paulo Costa on ice. Paulo Costa didn't even throw a punch. Like, he looked terrible. But that's just Izzy's game. Fiziev's game is not going to be like Izzy's. He's gonna be very technical, but he's also not going to be as safe.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to get hit a good amount of times here. And really a tough fight to call because we saw Fiziev's lights get put out. We saw Gaethje's lights get put out, And Fiziev's been on a nice run lately. Just knocked out RDA in the 5th round, so we know he can go 5. But, like, Gaethje's like a step up in comp, from RDA.
Yes, Gaethje's legit.
It just all depends,
I feel like the way Gaethje, his last performance against Charles, it was so, like, his striking, besides those knockdowns that he had, well, one of them wasn't even a real knockdown. Charles said he was fine.
Yeah.
But he was just swinging. He was just swinging to the fence. Like, he fell from, like, throwing a hook or,
he overswung. And
you do that against a Fiziev, you're catching a kick to the fucking face. Yeah, realistically.
Like, he's just so technical.
Yeah.
And I think that's also one of the other things. It all depends which Gaethje shows up. Because the Gaethje that was on his way to a title run against Khabib, he didn't care about entertaining the fans anymore. He cared about winning. And he was still he knocked out all 4 guys that got him to a title shot. But he did it without really taking too much damage, Yeah. And, like, he learned how to step off the gas a little bit and just touch him up, back up, and, like, relax. We saw that in the Ferguson fight. When he beat Ferguson, he probably could have put away Ferguson a little bit early, but he knew Ferguson is dangerous. And, he just didn't want to push in and, like, get caught with, like, an elbow or whatever it may be. So I feel like it all depends what Gaethje we get. Because in the Khabib fight, we all knew he wasn't going to beat Khabib. Yeah, he had power, but, like, Khabib's Khabib. In the Charles fight, I think he was trying to entertain fans. He went for the kill so many times in a row. And eventually
he got caught
and he went down. So yeah, and like and the Chandler fight, I think Chandler and Gaethje both knew they were gonna stand there and bang, put on an absolute show. And Gaethje's a better brawler than Chandler, just because he has like I said before, he has more like IQ when it comes to like swinging for the fences. Unlike Chandler, who goes ballistic.
Chandler's IQ.
Yeah, so like pretty much like what I'm saying is like it depends what Gaethje shows up. Like, if this Gaethje shows up wanting to make another title run, wanting to fucking like win this fight, he's gonna put on a very good fight, and he could easily like.
Do you think we'll see a little more? Do you think we'll see some wrestling? I
always hope to see it from him, and I always think next fight he's gonna do it. But realistically, I think he's completely done. And Fiziev has unbelievable takedown defense, so I think if Gaethje shows up, I know like they always show up to win, obviously, but like, if he really shows up not to put himself in so much danger and just take it slow and just not pedal to the floor, I think he has a way better chance if he were going there like how he did against Chandler or against how he did earlier in his days against Alvarez, against Poirier, and just give a show for the fans. So
we got bangers.
I think that's his idea. And then for Fiziev, his really keys to victory, coming from me, in my opinion, is just doing what you do. Stuff the takedown. You're fucking very good at stuffing takedowns. He's electrically fast. Like, he's so quick. And he's accurate. Just
try to touch
just
him up.
Stay to your game. Don't fall into the trick of a brawl with a guy like Gaethje. Just something you shouldn't do. And obviously he knows this, but like it's like something like this guy shouldn't do. Just keep doing what you do best, and you have a better chance at winning. So, today just so much shit. Like,
bro,
I could keep talking for hours on, but like this is something that will be dragged out. We'll keep making videos on this.
They can't. I don't know how you can even top this later on. You got to top this by having Charles and Izzy on the same card together.
Charles, Izzy, Connor
coming back.
Yeah.
This is like fucking wild. I feel like, bro, it's when the news came out.
It trumps everything. Nothing else matters.
I felt like it was like the Undertaker just fucking came back.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like the dark horse is back.
It really is like that, bro. Yeah. Because
he was in the shadows just watching.
Because like the story got released that this fucker was ready from like a hot minute ago.
Bro, he wanted to book it in October, November.
Yeah, he was ready to go. And like he's been waiting and waiting. Now it gets announced, and not just announced. Fucking 8 fucking fights ready to go. What the? Are you serious? 8 fights? Like he's put a stamp on his name. Like, oh, Jon Jones never gonna fight again. Here's 8.
He is not playing.
If Jon Jones wins all 8,
is not playing,
if Jon Jones
bro.
wins all 8, right? He wins all 8. Put him at 23 title fight wins with 0 losses. What the fuck did I even just say? If Jon Jones wins all 8 fights, assuming obviously because he had the championship, he can defend. If he wins all 8, I'll put him at 35-0 with 23 title fight wins. Technically defenses because I know like he took time off, he relinquished the belt. 23 title fight wins with 0 losses across 2 weight classes. What the fuck does that even mean? How's that even comprehend? Like, it doesn't even make sense to me. The fact that he has 15 is unbelievable. 23 at a different weight class? Are you kidding me?
Bro, I just pray he stays disciplined, doesn't do any of that stupid shit. Because, bro, he could extend his 8-fight contract till 2069 if he fucks up, bro.
Yeah, so we gotta all hope that Jon stays
intact,
clear-minded,
bro.
ready to go, and
I don't know. Man. I just have a weird feeling, bro. I have a feeling
easy to fuck up.
No. Oh. I have a feeling like that he's locked in.
So do you want to wait a little bit later till we do predictions, or like are you ready to give an early prediction now?
Let's go here. I'm gonna go on my phone. I'm gonna go on ESPN. We're just gonna do early predictions for all like the main fights coming up. Okay. Gilbert Burns, Neil Magny.
Oh, you want to do predictions for this card?
Oh no. Let's just
I want to know what you want. Like
I just main fights like with the like nice like the big names. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So Gilbert Burns, Neil Magny.
Yeah, Gilbert Burns for sure.
Figgy versus Brandon Moreno.
This is literally a pick'em fight. These are the most evenly matched people I think I've ever seen. I feel like I haven't seen Figgy like post any training videos. Like I feel like the dude's not ready. Like I don't know why. I feel like he's just gonna show up and just like perform his best. I want Figgy to win, but give me Brandon. I feel like Brandon's gonna come in there and win.
All right, Glover Teixeira, Jamal Hill.
I gotta go with Glover, bro.
Yeah, I gotta go over too.
It's so hard to put that dude's lights out. Watch him get slipped. He's gonna get slept because I said that.
All right, Derek Lewis, Sergey Spivak. Spivak. Where are these dudes fighting? Are they fighting in Vegas? They're fighting in Texas. Do not pick Derek Lewis. I think they're fighting in Vegas. It's fight night.
You know what? I'm gonna go Derek Lewis. I saw him look like he lost weight. You know, he looked a picture of him running and jogging on the track. He looked like he lost weight. I think he's sick and tired of getting knocked out. So I'm gonna go Derek Lewis. It's a tough pick.
I'm gonna go Spivak, bro. I just don't.
No, realistically, Derek Lewis probably getting knocked out. But I'm gonna give him the time of day.
Islam Makhachev, Volk.
I gotta go with
Islam.
I hope to God Volk wins.
Yair Rodriguez, Josh Emmett.
And that might be a hot take to some of you guys.
No, I have Josh Emmett.
I'm going Josh Emmett, bro. That guy's underrated. He's an underrated fighter. We'll make a video on that.
I got him too. Corey Sandhagen, Chito Vera.
Oh man, it's a tough fight to call, dude. Chito Vera hasn't been stunned or knocked down in 20 of his UFC fights. I do not think it's happening in this next fight. And for that reason, I'm going to take Chito because I don't think Sandhagen, I think his only way to win is to knock this dude out.
I got Sandman.
I'm going to go Chito.
I got Sandman. Agree to disagree.
Watch Chito get knocked out and I jinxed it.
That'd be fucking crazy. But I just feel like, I don't know why I feel like he's going to win. All right. Jon Jones, Ciryl Gane.
Very, 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 very early prediction. I'm going to lean with Jon Jones. This is all something we'll know. And within the first minute of the fight, if he's same, he's winning.
Hey, who knows? Maybe we'll every single prediction we have will happen.
You never know. So, but very, very early prediction, going Jon. But this can easily change within the next upcoming months.
All right. Then we got Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman.
I feel like this being in London is like huge for Leon, like more huge than people think. Oh my God, what a tough fight to call. It's such a tough fight now because of what Leon had to do to him. Like, this wasn't a tough fight to call a year ago. But now it's like, now you just don't know. I think Usman gets his get back. I think he's going to go in there. I think he's going to, I don't know about knock him out.
He's not knocking him out.
I think he's going to sub him. I think he's gonna not. I think he's not. I think he's not gonna play it easy, like soft enough to where he just beats him on like a decision. I think he's gonna. I think he's training specifically to sub this guy. Get out of there.
Up on the gas.
Get out of there early. Get out of there early within the first couple of rounds. Submit him and leave. That's it. Get your belt back. You won. He hasn't subbed anyone in a hot second, and I think he's gonna chase a sub. I don't know why. I have a feeling he's gonna chase a sub instead of like a knockout or decision win.
I like that. Now we got Fiziev, Justin Gaethje. That's our final. There's some other fights that could be considered major, like Marvin Vettori. He's fighting on that same card too.
Who's he fighting? He's fighting
Roman
Dolce, right?
Yeah. So like,
I'll take Marvin in that fight. But back to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Give me
Fiziev.
I have confidence in him. I don't think he's like a joke. Like I don't think like he's a fake. Like I think he's actually the real deal. So I'm gonna go Fiziev.
I'm gonna go Fiziev too, mainly because I feel like the lightweight division.
Those guys are kind of older.
They're out of there.
The next wave, Saryuki and Gamrot, Fiziev.
Yep.
Those guys are next. So I think
the only old guy is gonna stay there.
DP. Dustin.
Oh, I was gonna say Dustin Poirier and Beneil Dariush.
He just looks very old. He's not like crazy.
I know,
old,
but he
30,
looks. I think he's like 33 or something.
Yeah, he just looks old as shit.
He looks like he's 50.
Yeah, Dustin Poirier is still performing at a very high level.
That dude's
so good.
I genuinely think after this Islam fight, I think Dustin Poirier is fighting Islam.
Probably.
I really think so.
Probably.
I feel like that's a fight to make. I mean, he's gonna be a huge underdog just because he's basically fighting Khabib's clone.
Yeah, and like Charles took him down with ease and beat him up for a round and subbed him.
Islam takes him out. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we went through everything. I mean,
yeah, we got a lot, like so much to take in. Like it's gonna be a lot more of this soon because we got a lot to discuss in this upcoming weeks.
So everybody, thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys. Go follow our TikTok. Go follow our Instagram. Go do all that. Like and subscribe. Comment. Really appreciate it.
Yep, for sure. And just stay tuned for more videos just like this. We hope you guys enjoy these where we kind of just sit down and discuss what's happening in MMA because within this past month, no fights happened, nothing happened. There's literally no news whatsoever. So it was kind of hard to like just get like raw content out like this.
Yeah.
But now after what we just got today,
expect a lot of
there
videos.
Should be a lot of like this coming up. So expect a lot of these one-on-ones just talking about upcoming news, predictions, and just breakdowns and stuff. This will be happening more often.
Yep. All right. Have a good one.